Hey guys, Cam and I last night kind of cleaned on the bike a little bit more. Worked out pretty good. Got the chrome cleaned up. Finally cleaned up this back wheel and stuff a little bit down in fenders. Actually put some water on it. It's the first time I've actually washed it with some water, so I try to go back and polish some things up. Looks pretty good. Also got front fender here. Got some little plates we made to make the front fender work out. Got another kit that does the spacers here. This is a narrow glide front fender, and this is a custom wide glide front end. I believe it was supposed to just bolt straight through and work, but we needed a little bit more length. So a 19-inch wheel probably would have worked, but with a 21 we had to raise it about 3/4, I think, is what we read on those. So, and a little bit different year model, so there's they're brought in just a little bit for the fender. But anyways, you gonna get that mounted up, and I've been rocking it like this for a little while, and it's pretty good. I got a ton of compliments out of it. It's just something different. People can't tell what it is. So it's kind of funny. This Burley style fairing though, I never did go back and paint it, even though I found some better matching paint for some of the stuff that I've touched up, which and that'll match pretty good. But I decided to take this fairing off, and where we did the wide glide front end, which is to the front, I've got some 99 2006, I believe is what they are. But the correct triple trees, new ones, because the other ones were bent. So they actually mount back here. So the front end actually comes back here instead of being out front. So these are 41mm forks. Stocks are 41mm. The fork tube itself is pretty much the same. These are, I think, a little bit taller. But we're gonna effectively undo those and bolt them up here. And then that'll give us room for the new fairing, which is this right here. So this is the FXRT style fairing, and it's gonna work out pretty good. So it's got vents and everything. This is obviously a repop one, not an original or anything. Pretty common mod a lot of guys are doing on anything and everything these days. This is the bracket, and because this is technically for a dyno, we're putting on a touring bike. The touring frame's a little bit thicker, so we had to come up with some spacers. Just space it out and make it work. But this thing gonna be kind of cool. I got some speakers coming in, some kickers coming in for there. Got a marine radio. I was hoping to use an original style, but it's way too wide, so I got that. But I did get the hookup to make the controls work. We're gonna get the gauges figured out, do some neat things with that. So a lot of guys have been putting those on Road Kings too, and give a shout out to one of the guys got a killer Road King. His is it's a old dot bruiser on Instagram, and it is a wicked bike. It's blue, it's like almost like a Ford blue and brown, but you have to check it out. Like, so it's a really good looking bike, but he's using a fairing a lot like this on a Road King, which is the exact same frame and everything. It's all touring stuff. But on his, on a Road King in general, you've got a gauge here, whereas on an Electra Glide or Street Glide or Road Glide, you've got them all up here. And the FXRT fairing was right after the Tour Glide in the 80s. So this would have had speakers and glove boxes and gauges and everything for an original Harley factory one, and those are like $3 or $4 grand needing to be redone, so they're crazy expensive. So these aren't cheap either, but it is a really cool mod. We didn't trim any of this. This is the way they did it. It was already trimmed out, ready for us. They did a really nice job of the inside of that, so it should be pretty good. It looks like it's messed up, but it's not. You can tell they just went back and fixed a couple things for you, so it doesn't have much. There's a little bit of stuff that we're gonna have to work on. Doesn't need much at all though, and it should be pretty cool. Get that mounted on there. Also got some other exhaust. Old Bruiser on there. He's been helping me out a bunch. talking about the mounts and where they go. Luckily, since this is a touring frame, you've already got holes for a road glide. So that's kind of cool. I think we're going to be able to use those and mount it up. And then the exhaust, like I said, he's using, I believe he's got the Dan Moto exhaust. I bought the exact same exhaust. Mine is technically for a Softail because they don't make those exhausts anymore. But the Dan Moto company is looks like pretty good stuff. They do stuff for, you know, Aprilas and Hondas and everything else. But their Harley exhaust seems to be pretty good. I know some people had some trouble with mounts. I'm gonna have to make custom mounts anyways because this isn't a Softail, obviously. So that didn't bother me. But they look really cool. You can see on his bike, the exhaust there, it would normally just be, you know, bare stainless, but it's got a really, really cool look to it. So I like it. I think it'll look good on here. More of that performance bagger style that goes with the FXRT style. So should be pretty cool. So something different, something weird. You know, you throw a Dyna front end on one, you try to make it into a Dyna. And really, the touring frame on these came from the FXR and the FXRT and how good of a frame they did. And they've got this part of the frame here. So this is kind of what everything kind of evolved to over the FLH, the 76 that I've got. So we had the normal like pogo stick mount in the middle. So it should be kind of neat. What I'll do with this, I'll set the tank back. I'll take the risers out, put it back where it's supposed to be. I'll put this plate actually on the other bike because I've got some other ideas with it. I'm gonna use the solo seat on it, and then get that front end set back where it's supposed to be. Get the fairing mounted on, and it should be pretty dang cool. Be weird, and I like weird. Right, guys, so this is the final version of this style, the Electra Wide, and it's done good. I've been riding the crap out of this thing, and I'm pretty happy with it. I got the front fender all painted up. This is a narrow glide fender, and I bought the extensions here, and I went ahead and we made this plate, everything painted the same, got it all bolted up. And that looks pretty good. It finishes out the look, you know. So that's pretty neat. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. It's not going to be like this long, you know, exactly like this because got the FXRT fairing in there. So it looks pretty good. And this paint didn't match super well, but this other paint here matched really good. Just for the record, this is Rust-Olem Apple Red, I think is what it is. And it looks pretty good for what the paint looks like. This was the firefighter red paint from Harley, and it should have matched perfectly, but I guess maybe it's an old can or something. I don't know, but it's not perfectly matched, but that Rust-Olem matches really good actually. So, and I've touched up a couple of things here and there. That looks pretty dang good. All right, guys, stay tuned. We got lots of stuff coming. Alright guys, make sure you check out the website. We've added thousands and thousands of awesome motorcycle parts. We've got apparel on there. We've got extended front forks, fenders, frames, anything you can think of. Check it out.